Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope you're having a fabulous day. Thanks so much for joining me for another 5 easy step card tutorial. Today we're using some items from Papertrey Ink. I'm going to be using the Into the Blooms Daisies die set for my focal point. For my home panel we're going to use an egg. This is the Papertrey Ink Egg Hunt die set. And then we're also, for my greeting, we're going to be using a Line It Up die set. This is the Faith die set. We're going to be using Hope. And then for my background, we're going to be using the Risen hot foil plate. We're kind of going to, sorry about the shaky camera, we're kind of going to do a buffet of things today. We're going to do a little ink blending, foiling, die cutting, and stacking. So let's jump in and get started with step number 1, which is creating our focal point. Now I went ahead and did all my die cutting with white cardstock for my Into the Blooms daisies. The nice thing about this die set is you can layer and mix and match any way you want. So much fun. I'm choosing some real pretty spring colors for my florals. I have Hibiscus Burst, Summer Sunrise, and Blueberry Sky. And then for my leaves, we're going to do a little bit of two-tone inking with New Leaf and Mint Julep. Okay, so I went ahead and die cut everything out. Now we're going to ink blend on them. I kind of separate them into sets. This way we can stack them and color them really easily. For this flower, I'm going to use my Blueberry Sky. We're just going to, and I'm not worried about the center because the center is going to be covered, but I'm just going to lightly go over the edges of all of these flowers. So that flower is done. Now for this daisy, we're going to use some, and again, this is Hibiscus Burst. And for my last flower, we're going to color that in with Summer Sunrise. I have my flower centers. I'm going to leave those white. We're actually going to cover those with a button. But I am going to color in my leaves, starting with my Mint Julep. We'll add some color here. And then using my New Leaf, which is a little bit of a brighter green, we're going to add some little extra color here. I put glue on all of them. Now to make your flowers, it's super easy. All you do is just stack them. If you wanted to put foam tape behind here, you could. Just stack them all together, and then you add your flower center, and your floral is good. Look how pretty that is. Same thing goes with the other flowers. Just stack our pink flower, and then lastly we're going to stack our yellow flower. Yellow flower, I'm not going to add a center. Now our flowers are done, and they're nice and springy. I just love these colors for spring. There are 2 different leaves, the larger one and a smaller one, and all I'm going to do is add little dots of glue at the base of them, and I'm going to add 2 leaves to each one of these blooms. Just do a little tucking with them. And then those will be our focal point. We're going to set these aside, and now we're going to work on, we're going to be using the Egg Hunt die set. The nice thing about this set is we're going to be using the largest egg. So I'm going to take these 2. First I'm going to take white cardstock, and I'm going to cut out an egg with white cardstock. I'll do that. Now I have my egg, and what we're going to do is take our detail piece. I'm going to flip it around. It's almost the same size. You can just line it up here, and then I will run this through my die cut machine. So we have, you see that detail pattern on there? We're actually going to do some ink blending on here. So I have some masking tape, and using the same colors that we use for our flowers, we're going to color in our egg here. Now I masked off the top and the bottom, and what we're going to do is bring in our Hibiscus Burst, and we're just going to add some color here. Then we can remove our mask, and then we're going to do our next decorative element. So we'll just mask this off. Now for the stripes here, I'm using Blueberry Sky. We're just going to add a little color. I'll do the same down here. That's all there is to that. So that's what it looks like so far. Now some of the dotted detail I don't want to ink blend. What I'm going to do is bring in some markers. I'm using alcohol markers. And what I'm going to do next is just color in this squiggly line section with my marker, because I know I can't mask that off. There we go. And then we have the diamonds that are inside this section. That's where my green will come in. I'm just going to color in those diamonds. So just those two markers make a huge amount of difference. Now I'm going to continue with my ink blending. These two sections, I'm going to color it in with yellow. So I'm going to mask off. And I'm going to go directly over the marker that we just used. Let me show you. So we'll just mask this off. This time I want to be using my Summer Sunrise. And we're just going to go over the markers. Now we're almost done. All we have left is this middle section. I'm going to mask off this area, and we're going to use our Blueberry Sky ink, and we're going to color that in. And that's all there is to that. Let's take a look at our egg. And that is our decorated Easter egg. So much fun, just with a little bit of masking. Now we're going to work on step number 3, which is creating our greeting. For my greeting, I'm going to be taking the Line It Up Faith die set. We're going to be using Hope, and I'm going to die cut out. I'm going to die cut out the Hope with some Harvest Gold cardstock. So there's my Hope. Now I die cut it out with my Harvest Gold cardstock, but I also stacked 2 more white pieces of cardstock behind there. So there's a little bit of dimension to that. And then I did put glue behind it. This is going to go layered right across the line of my egg here. We are going to go almost to the edge, but it lines up beautifully. Give that a good press. And then I'm going to use my scissors, and anything overhanging we're going to trim off. And that's my greeting. Now I'm going to go ahead and take my florals, and we're going to add those, but we are going to pop them up with some foam squares. Let's go ahead and add these. We're kind of following along the curve of our eggs. Lovely. Now what we're going to do is put this aside, and we're going to do a little bit of foiling. We're going to move along to our background, which is step number 4. For my background, we're going to be using the Papertrey Ink Resin Hot Foil Plate. This is what it looks like. It's just beautiful. I already placed it on my glimmer machine. I'm going to set the timer, and I did trim down some foil. I'm using Spellbinder's matte gold foil. I trimmed down a piece here. Your plate goes face up, your foil goes face down, and then I have a piece of cardstock. This is an oversized piece of cardstock. I did that because this way I don't have to be perfect with my positioning. I'm going to trim down my panel anyway, and it just, for me, it's better coverage. When the light stops flashing, my hot foil plate is ready to go. I always like to make my sandwich first. So we just wait for that light to stop blinking. Okay, I'm going to run this through my die cut machine, and I'll be right back. Okay, let's take a look. I'm going to go ahead and turn off my machine. I'm going to just flip it over, and we remove the foil. And look how gorgeous that is. So pretty. And this was matte. Could you imagine if you did regular foil? It's just stunning. Okay, we'll put this to the side. I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer. And I'm going to trim this down to a panel that's 4 inches by 5 1/4. I'm going to take my background, just using my tape runner, we're going to adhere it to the front of our card base. Now I'm going to take my egg. I did fluff up the flower petals. We're going to add this right to the center of our card. Lovely. And then we're going to move along to step number 5. It's time to embellish. We're going to just embellish with buttons. Love buttons on cards. I'm using some buttons that I have from Papertrey Ink. I don't think this is available any longer, but Papertrey Ink does have a buffet of buttons, so whatever color you like, you just pick out the color you want. I went ahead and put some glue dots behind a pink button, and we'll put that on the pink flower. And then I have a blue button. We're going to put that on a blue flower. And then I have a yellow button, and we're going to add that to our yellow flower. I don't know what it is about buttons and spring. To me, they just go together. So that is part of my embellishing, but I do want to add a little bit of sparkle, and that's where my diamond stickles will come in. I'm going to add some sparkle to my Easter egg, and we're going to add it to some of the striped areas. Just going to kind of spread it out a little bit. So now we have some sparkle, a little bit of texture, and that is my card for today. Thanks so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and we will see you soon. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for sticking with me to the end. I have 2 more videos that you guys might be interested here. If you guys are new and like the content that you see, click that subscribe button and also the notification bell. That way for future videos, be notified. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It sure does help the channel. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.